All right, well, good news. This is our Forex blog for September 4th, 2013. If all goes well, we're going to release our next major update. This is the most anticipated update we've ever had because it now has the currency indexes baked into the software. You can just put in star EUR and it will bring up a euro dollar chart. And I have these set up with all the indicators on them in the C Top Gun chart examples. It's under currency indexes. And you can add any study or indicator you want right to the indicator. Right to the currency index. For instance, if you want the regular containment bands, I like to show the hourly moving average, and then I like to see where the 1.5 and 2.0 containment bands are. I use the DSP center line, which is much faster. Most traders don't have access to that, so for support and resistance purposes I use the hourly moving average, and it lets you see when the market's gone down too far, and then the hourly moving average tends to be a resistance area on the way up. And basically you use these currency indexes when one's strong and another one's weak to buy the strong currencies versus the weak and sell the weak versus the strong. So now I'll bring up our normal currency meters, and you can I'll show you how to use this. Also, the FX trade signals on any regular range chart are going to be included in tomorrow's release. Again, it's not available today. If all beta testing goes well tonight, September 5th it will be released, and we will have a very easy two-step trading system. One, use the currency indexes to identify which ones are strong and which ones are weak. Then just simply wait for a signal. And I've put in audio signals too because I know people are going to ask for those. I don't use them myself because I'm sitting here watching them, and also most of the time I'm just doing an automated trading. So let me bring this up now. We'll go on how to use it. Here's our currency indexes, and for my trading for quite a while ago, I've replaced the FX trend intensity with the perfect oscillator. It shows you the trend in visual format, and it also gives you a wealth of information that you can't really get with our other tool. For one, obviously if the perfect oscillator is underneath the zero line in the middle, the trend's down. The minus 80 level most times is an area where the market's going to either go sideways or reverse. If you look at all these on here, you can see right here and here what happened. It reversed. Right here is an extreme, right here is an extreme. It reversed on this one, also on this one. Notice right here the market kind of goes up slightly. Obviously it doesn't work 100% of the time, nothing does. This one here, the market continued down. This one here, the market kind of drifted down slightly. Right here, the market kind of went sideways for an hour. Right here, the market kind of went sideways and then pulled back a little bit. These are just extremes. And sometimes when the markets are extreme, they reverse. Most of the time they do, but not always. And what's nice about the perfect oscillator is not only does it give you the plus and minus 80 reversals, but when you have a trend that's up or down, for instance, you can almost perfectly time the market. For instance, if you have the dollar that's trending down, when it hits the perfect oscillator's upper band, here, and especially when it makes some kind of a move in the opposite direction, like right here, these are all areas where you can, look for trades. And guess what? Within about 20 minutes, it fell. Within 10 minutes, it fell. Within 10 minutes, it fell. Within 30 minutes, it fell. And if you find one currency that's strong and another one that's weak, it really helps you trade. Now, the dollar's underneath its hourly moving average and trending down, so is the euro. The yen is as well. The pound is until about 5. So what's happening at 5? Coming up to 5 right here, you can see the dollar set up to sell. The pound just breaks out from underneath above its hourly moving average. This is, a picture perfect trade. When one currency is just starting to get strong, another one's very likely to go down. Using our statistical tools, coming up to 5 o'clock, you want to buy the pound dollar. And guess what? coming up to 5, and it's probably somewhere around here. You get into this trade and it goes up about 15 to 20 pips sideways and then up another 20 pips. Beautiful and statistically perfectly timed. And obviously you're going to be better off when you find a currency that is trending up. So let's take a look at the Swiss. Now the new currency indexes have these built into the software, so this one obviously is trending down very strongly. Take a look at the Australian. If it's above its hourly moving average, if it's above its point of control, very high probability. So again, let's take a look at this. Timing wise, the dollar trending down right here, here, and here, very likely to reverse. The Australian is exploding up. This pullback right here, when you see actual pullback in the index and it hits the lower Bollinger Band on here, very high probability places to get in. Let's just take a look at those times. 1 and 3:30. 1, I didn't do it on here. 3:30 also. So 3:30, I absolutely picture perfect ideal time to be buying the Australian dollar. So what happens at 3:30? Guess what? You got a little bit of a pullback, and look, almost immediately shoots up 10, 20, 30 pips. I mean, this is the reason why I've used this for the last probably 2 months, and I've waited for the next software release to release this, because the perfect oscillator I have just perfected on the currency indexes. Before the last version that I released, it probably didn't work too well, so I wanted to wait till everyone had this to start showing it. But it's almost too good to be true. The perfect oscillator is called perfect for a reason, and when both individual currencies are giving a sell signal and a buy signal at the exact same time, you know, it's wonderful. And it's even better when the market, you know, shows some kind of a reversal up like this. You know, the market's trending down, it's showing a reversal up. What is this time right here? 9:30. Very high probability. What do you have on here at 9:30? Well, you know, unfortunately it's not right at the perfect oscillator's lower band, or the -80. It's very close to it. It's good enough for me. 11 o'clock is also a good one. 11 o'clock on here, this one's not unfortunately reset up, but at 9:30 it's a wonderful trade. It's very likely to go our way. We're looking to buy the Australian dollar. And this is why I'm so excited about this, because it's just at 9:30 right here, we're looking to buy, and guess what? Within 5-10 minutes it goes up, and then over the next hour it goes up again, 20 pips. So these are some of the new features. Now let's go to the euro dollar, 5R. This a lot of people like range charts, and this new release of the software is going to have an improved. If you've watched us on Facebook, you've seen our FX trade signals. If you want the audio alert, I put that in there too, because I knew people were going to ask me and bug me about that. Add this to your chart. It downloads tons of data. If you saw every single study and indicator that this used, it would be almost unreadable to the human eye. Alright, so you can see these signals are made up of, I think I'm close to 70 different patterns that it looks for. And it uses about 8 different containment bands with different settings, different moving averages. I actually calculate the swing levels, and so if the market ever makes this higher high than before, that's very bullish, and we look to buy the pullbacks. I'm using very advanced math, very advanced statistical tools to find counter trend trades especially. And you know, basically, if the euro's weak and the dollar's strong, then look for sells, and buys, you know, conversely, or just, you know, trade these. And you can how I trade them with the system is, when I get shorts, the stop's right above the high, it goes down. You know, typically I'll get out of the trade like this usually pretty early, and then I'll re-enter. If I'm manually trading, if the computer's trading, it's kind of watching this, and then it trails the stop down. I would probably got out somewhere around here and made 8 pips on that one, lost 8 pips on this, made probably 5 pips on this, Probably would have lost 5 pips on this, and it would have made about 30 pips on that last one. So this is going to be called FX Trade Signals, replacing our old one. It's super accurate. This is still beta, but people have been clamoring to get this, so it's been doing very well for me on automated trading. So I feel like it's good enough to release. And you know, sometimes there are signals within a few bars of each other. Typically, most of the time, not. Today, before this one right here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of the trades would have worked. This one. Well, it's actually debatable about this one, but it ultimately did work. If you had a little bit wider stop, that one would have worked. And of course, this one. And time will tell whether this little pullback right here will be profitable or not. But this is a good way for new traders that know nothing about trading. Some of these trades are based on support resistance. Some of them are based on what I call swing expansion. Anytime the market makes a higher high or lower low, after a couple bar pullback, it tends to continue. So for instance, here's a lower low and a significant lower low here. So we have these sells here. Once the market makes a higher high, we look for buys. And that approach works extremely well. Fibonacci profit targets, Fibonacci pullback areas are also one of, or actually probably close to 10 of the almost 70 different patterns that it looks for. And rather than teach people through videos 70 different patterns, I just keep adding new ones to the signals and also enhancing old ones or getting rid of some of the old ones. So there may be a new release after tomorrow's within a week or two with an updated signal. And probably at least once a month from here on out, we'll be releasing new ones with all my latest new signals, enhanced older signals, and some of them I throw away if they just prove to be, you know, lose more money than they make. I get rid of them. If I can't fix them, they get tossed. So I think everyone will be very happy with the new release tomorrow. And also keep in mind that these currency indexes, you don't have to use 5-minute charts. You can now put them on any time frame you want. For instance, if you want a euro dollar 60-minute chart, you can see an hourly chart of the euro. And if you want to see more than 6 days, you know, put in 20 or something. It's actually a real live chart, and you can add any indicators you want, even ones that, you know, I don't really use or recommend, like, you know, MACD or something. I hate this indicator, but it will work. You know, any indicator or settings that you want can be added to this. If you are a scalper, you might want to use 15-minute containment bands. They work extremely well for scalping, and I actually use them in my signals as well for certain trades. Probably 5 or 6 of the almost 70 trades use, you know, 15-minute band containment. I always like to DSP on the shorter ones. And this lets you see very fast, very, you know, high probability reversal areas. For instance, the euro at 630 here. Anytime you have a retracement to a Fibonacci profit target, that also happens to be at our statistically likely reversal areas. 630, the euro is very likely to make a bounce. And so what was weak at 630 here? Now remember, this is the hourly containment bands. The 15-minute ones are much faster. So, and they rarely ever go outside a 15-minute band. You know, but if you add all these different time frames on here with bands, you'll have bands everywhere. It'll confuse the hell out of you. That's why I'm trying to make it super easy by just having systems that in signals that trigger and tell you when to buy. So again, 630, the euro is very likely to go up. You can see the Australian is at the upper band. The perfect oscillator is at the upper containment band of there. It's also a double top. It's right at the hourly containment band. This one's very likely to go down. So the 5-minute, or actually it doesn't matter what time frame you use. Let's bring up the Euro Australian, and you'll probably see at 630 a very steep reversal. Yep. Look at that. Perfect timing. Went from 43.60 all the way up to 4,400. It's a 35 to 40 pip move in a half an hour. So there's so many different ways to trade using our currency indexes. And when you use our perfect oscillator on there, which I'm going to start showing every day in class now, you will find, like I do, it works way better than some of the other tools, because not only do you see the trend on here, red is down, green is up, you can see the plus 80 and minus 80, which typically are reversals, or it goes sideways for 30 minutes to an hour and a half. And also you have the Bollinger Bands around the moving average of the perfect oscillator, which also are excellent places to get into trades. If you see it underneath the lower band, it's at the lower Bollinger Band of the perfect oscillator, very likely to reverse again at 6:30. Boom. You know, I'm making trading as easy as I possibly can for new and professional experienced traders.